So we are here for the NCAA Women's College Basketball Scores for Monday, March 2nd, 2026. So we have the first Monday of March. Well, now this is the first day. Well, after Power Conference, I guess, Saturday, Sunday. But this is really the first day where every conference, is playing because of the conference tournaments. The big, after like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday ones. Where a lot of them, and there's some that still do go on, till the end of the season, like the 7th, the 8th. There are, but not entirely. It does everyone go on to the 7th and 8th. There's 17. There's a few that like Missouri Valley goes to 8th. Like the men's basketball go to 8th. Some do. Not all, but some. Some of them that do go to 7th. There's some that do end early because they want the boost. The men's. Either they want the men's side separately and the women's side separately, and they get the boost from power conference, non-power conference. Times for men and women. So I don't remember. But we have the men's team, so they do that. It just depends on the conference. Some men and women sometimes. Some of them maybe earlier from men because they want both teams to be just depends. Either way. WTV 74 to 65. Texas A&M Corpus Christi 48-642 Houston Christian. Belmont 83-64 Southern Ray. Easton 60 Steve Wilson. Lamar 70-52 for Southeast Michigan. Trent Mercy wins the play-in on the Barbasol Horizon League Championship, and on the Barbasol Horizon League Championship, what they're doing is they're doing a play-in round where it's 10. They're doing 10 teams, and they're doing top 10 teams. There's 11 teams make it, and they're doing it to where 11 teams in the championship. The Horizon League Championship, Barbasol Horizon League Championship. They're doing this 10-11 play in the playing game, and then the top 10. So 1 plays to 10 or 11, 2 plays 9, 3 plays 8, 4 plays 7, 5 plays 6. So what they're doing is they're doing that, and then the winners, the top 5 winners, move on to the Indianapolis. Instead of having the quarterfinals at campus sites, where they have the first round, the same games, all 11, but in first round, scenario, and then the top so many teams get buys. They're going to be top 5, 6, 11, 7, 10, 8, 9. Yeah, it should be the top 5 get buys, and then 1, 2, 3 seeds play a team who play in first round, and then you would essentially, that's what they did before, and then the quarterfinals would be at campus sites, and the semifinal and final would be at a neutral site, and they did that kind of for the TV purpose, and they did that kind of so that the women's championship could be televised, and then the women's championship would be televised on ESPN2, and then the men's semifinal, what they always do with the men's semifinals is one men's semifinal would be on ESPNU, because ESPN and ESPN2 both have the ESPN and ESPN2 at 70 Serrano. When the first Horizon League semifinals on, they both had conference championship finals on ESPN, ESPN2. They both did. And I know ESPN had the SoCon final on that Monday. And then I believe that Sunday is Sunday is at about semis. No, the SoCon semis are on TV though, so ESPN They have the Sun Belt semis, and they have the West Coast Conference semis as well. So Saturday night. So yeah, so that's part of it for the men, and so it's part of it. And then they get the women's championship televised. That's part of it. At least the women's championship televised on TV. The men's championship semis and final are televised on regular TV. The women's will have to be on early in the day on ESPN Plus. But it's what it is, I guess. And then and they're doing it where the top 5 now move on to a second round. They call it the first round, which is, I guess, a first round. And then where it's a campus, it's so is the play-in. And they're doing it to where the winners move on to all winners move on to the second round. All round. So the top 3 teams based on the point differential. So the 3 highest winners, whoever wins by, whoever scores. So if one team wins by 10, one say wins by 9, and then there's say one wins by 8, and then there's one that wins by 7, one that wins by 6, one that wins by say 2 teams that win by 7 and 6. There are 2 lowest scoring teams, so they'll play each other. 7 who scored the team won by 7, team won by 6 will play. Those 2 will play each other on Sunday, the 8th, and then the 2 teams, and then on the 9th and then on the 9th it'll be the semis. So they'll play the top seed then, and the 2 and the 3 will get byes and play each other. So that's how it goes. Which it's kind of strange. I don't know why they just have all 11 teams in them. Top 5 get byes. 6 plays 11. The winner plays the 3. 7. The 10. The winner plays the 2. And the 8. Not 8. 1 8. 1 plays the 8. And the 9. And then have that campus 8s. And have top 4 at like they debut. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know. Too complicated, too confusing. It just kind of takes out the fun of it. Yeah, you playing a guessing game. You have to play an extra game. You win, then you have to play an extra game just because of the fact that it's not hey if these mid majors like the Sun Belt. You know how they have it the top 2 teams get semifinal berth. 3-4 go to quarters. Get by to quarters. 5-6 get by to fourth. 7-8 get by to third. 9-10 get by to second round. 11-14 play in the first round. It's not like that where they have so many rounds, 7 rounds of games, and then the top 2 teams make it semis. They stagger it so much because they want it's kind of a fixed thing for the league. They want it reward the top teams. They give them so much time off, but they also want that so that they can make sure that for one have a competitive conference championship game for linear TV, and it looks entertaining, appetizing for regular TV, the regular TV audience for the final. Because I know they get the men's championship and the women's championships. They get even the men who get more viewers. I know a lot more of them tune into Sun Belt because of the fact that if you see it's the top 2 teams in the league, or teams that have a really good shot of making it to the NCAA championship or the men or the women's side as a higher seed or more of a potential. Hey, if you get a good matchup, possibly you could maybe upset team. Kind of that scenario where top 2 teams in the league, they're fighting for both teams will get into the postseason tournaments. Just who is really 2 really good teams. Which team is going to be a little disappointed going to NIT, but still get a second chance, or the WBIT or the NIT. Which team is going to move? I kind of I see why they're doing it but I don't mind that. But the West Coast Conference, I don't mind that. Having so many teams and to help themselves out, to help the league themselves out in a way. I don't mind that because having leagues, where you have like the Americans, and I think like the women's side of the American. I know the women's American side. I don't know if I follow the men's side as much, but the women's side of the American. I know they had like Rice last year. I believe they made it as like a 7 seed, I'm gonna say. So, yeah, having like a 7 seed make it, So I think they do that like the staggered times, the staggered thing. So, I mean, I know in the Sun Belt last year they had teams that were really far and they made it to like really far. Like I think the first round team, can't remember who all of those. I believe made it to like the 4th round. I want to say. So made it like pretty far. And then, so I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, not like isn't like the world's biggest thing. No. But it's like a little disappointing. Kind of, yeah. Kind of, I mean. I just kind of wish, they didn't do that, but, I mean, it is what it is, though. I mean, yeah, if they really wanted to, why didn't they just do like a stagger, And like all the teams stagger, You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, if they really wanted to kind of like favor guys, top teams, they just have like the top seeds compete in like have kind of like a staggered thing. You know what I mean? You can, you know what I mean? You got like the sites to like play back-to-back nights. I like campus sites where you have like you know what I'm saying? This team plays this team on Monday. You have the 10-11 on 1, and then they play at the winner of the 8th seed or the 7th seed, and then they play at the 7th seed. And then say where's that player? They dream. Maybe they could have like the 6-5 then. They'll play at the winner of the 3 seed. They'll play at the 3 seed, Or is it the 6 one? No, it's the 7. And 7-4. Yeah, it would be 7-4. 6. No, before. Alright, so 6. Oh yeah, and the 10-9. 7 play the winner of that. 7, yeah, and then the 9-8. Yeah, you could have this. A 6-5. Oh, they have the 8 one, then they play the 5, and some when they play the 6, yeah. So you could have that, kind of, to where you could have like the 8-5 that at the side of the 4 seed, and then the 7-6 matchup at the side of the 3 seed. You could do that. Honestly, if you want to do that, that'd be a lot better, Play back-to-back days, have maybe a Monday, Tuesday thing. And then you could have like a Thursday, Friday thing. That would actually be better, honestly. And then maybe have like a Monday, Tuesday next week, have like the conference championship semifinals event. I don't know, I like that. I don't know, it'd be so bad though. I don't know. It'd be kind of good. I don't mind that. I don't know. If they're really trying to favor top teams, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm for that. We have that. Weber State 81-52 over Portland State. Montana State 68-48 over Northern Arizona. Northern Colorado 61-58 over Montana. Sacramento State 85-72 over Idaho State, and then Eastern Washington. Well, it's Idaho 75-64. So on Tuesday, let's talk about the conference championships. I should be on another.